What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today, as promised, we got a review for you. The Bishop Wand shader, Power Wand shader at that. So we're gonna give a good old review for this machine, keeping it mostly verbal. At the end I will throw some footage of me using the machine, as well as I have a fake skin for the video that I tattooed with the machine. And I'm going to give you guys my honest opinion and thoughts about this machine. So, a little bit of background. The reason that I started with the Power Wand versions is because I was using the Cheyenne machines and coil machines and things like that all the way up through the Bishop Wand series, and I'm hearing everybody talk about them. Are they worth it? Are they good? And then I already had my machine, so I just figured might as well use what I got. I'm not a big machine buyer like a lot of YouTubers that I see. They buy every machine, which is, it's awesome because that's how I know what machine to buy, so I appreciate that, guys. Anyways, the hype was real on the Bishop Wands, and I could just tell there was something about that machine because I could not find one bad review. So leading up, I'll show you what I was using. All through the Bishop Wand series, I got these two machines right here. I have the Cheyenne Solterra 4mm stroke with hard drive mode and Cincy drive mode, and this machine's a great machine. And then I have a Cess Safari mini flat side liner, or fastback, I can't really remember exactly which one. And I did my lines with this, and then my color and my shading with this, and this shade's amazing even though it's a 4mm stroke. I'm somebody who likes a little bit of a longer stroke for my shading, just to get it in fast. Not like it's bad or anything. You can still achieve smooth shades, you just really have to know what you're doing. And then to me it's almost better because you're getting it in fast and you're not damaging the skin. You just gotta know your technique. So with all that being said, the reason that I'm telling you this is because I bought the Bishop Power Wand liner and I gave it a run because the coil was just really hard on my wrist, and I gave it a run, and turns out that the Power Wand liner is just a beast. It's all I ever use to line with now is the Power Wand liner. That 5mm stroke just drives those lines right in. So I started looking at the other machines, and I already have the 4mm Solterra, so I figured, the Packer's just 0.2mm more longer on the stroke. It's got to be very, very similar. So I looked at the shading machine, and this shading machine in particular has a 3.5 stroke, 3.5mm stroke. So the cam on here is 3.5. So most dedicated shaders that are rotaries have a 2.5 or 3.0 stroke, 2.8, whatever, and that's really, really, really soft. So like when I had the Cheyenne Hawk Spirit, which is what I bought right before I bought the Solterra, it was just too soft. Don't get me wrong, it did really, really smooth shades, but it was really soft. You had to really build it up, which is what some people are looking for. But like I said, I'm trying to get it in one pass or less, or not one pass or less, but around one pass to one pass with the shades, and create minimal trauma to the skin. So the Cheyenne Hawk Spirit just sat around in my drawer and never got used until I sold it. So when I got the liner and I'm like, wow, this machine's awesome, I came across the wand shader that had a 3.5mm stroke, and I'm like, alright, that's a little bit longer than your average dedicated shading machine. So I picked it up, and turns out this machine is just a beast of a shader. I'm talking a beast. It's perfect because you can build it up if you want to, or you can get it in one pass running it on 10-11 volts and call it one, you know. And it doesn't snag the skin because it's got a longer stroke. And what Franco Vescovi did that's so special about this machine is he took that 3.5mm stroke and he paired it with a very weak motor. I'm not going to say very, very weak, but it's not as strong as some of the other motors and some of the rotaries. It is a, don't quote me on this, it is a brushed motor, a brushed German fall hybrid motor, whereas the liner would be a stronger motor, like a brushless German Fallheimer motor. So I could have this backwards, guys, don't quote me on that, but I think I got it right. Anyway, so pairing this machine with the weaker motor and that 3.5mm stroke is just a killer duo. You get up in there and it gets the shades in just right. A couple passes maybe sometimes, but it's usually pretty quick about it. So there's minimal trauma to the skin. It just runs so smooth. I've lined with it and it does line. It's a great machine. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this little battery pack in here so you can hear it running. See how quiet it is. So right here, it's on 6 volts, 7, 8, 9, 11, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And that's running. Gets a little louder when you lengthen the stroke, and put a cartridge in there, but that's it, running. Very quiet. So, as far as my thoughts on this machine, I'd absolutely 100% recommend this machine or the liner machine. I want to say any other one, but I have not tried the Packer. But I would recommend these machines. They're amazing machines. So I've got a fake skin I'm going to show you here that I did with this machine. Set this down. So I wanted to try with that machine a little bit of everything. I didn't just want to do a portrait and a whole bunch of shading. Even though it's a shading machine, I wanted to give it a run for its money and see if it was capable of doing lines, packing, shading, all of that. Because sometimes you never know when you're going to use a machine for a whole tattoo, and I wanted to see if it was capable to do that, but I didn't want to try on a client. So I got this fake skin here. This is a pound of flesh, highly recommended. These are awesome fake skins. And I did more of a neo-traditional design. Like I said, I wanted to test the machine's limits. And we're also not done with the design, so let's get you a look at that. Now as you can see, you got some lines, some shading, and some color packing going on here, and even some color blends. So I'm not gonna lie to you, it struggled on the lines. Now I will say this, fake skin is really hard to tattoo. It's a lot easier to tattoo human skin, so that's why fake skin is really good to practice on, but it has its pros and cons. But I definitely recommend a pound of flesh. But it struggled with the lines, but it got them in there, and then it really excelled in the shading. Obviously nice smooth shades in those leaves and stuff like that. And then what really blew my mind was it put the color in there just amazing without any issue. It wasn't a struggle. It blended real nice. And like I said, this fake skin, it can be pretty tough. It can be tough to get colors, especially colors like white are real hard to get into fake skin, and it just put it right in there. So that's where I was like, alright, this machine is special. And yeah, so highly recommend the Bishop Wand shader. These are my thoughts. I'm not sponsored. I wish I was, because I would absolutely love to be, but it's an amazing machine. I recommend it to anybody. So with that being said, I'm going to throw some footage up here of me doing a few little designs, fake skins, and yeah, so you can see the machine in use. And with all that being said, guys, if you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and with that, I'm out. Hold on one second, babe. Come on. I'm waiting.